this video, I'll be reviewing Ryan Trahan's candy, Joyride. I'll be reviewing it to test 3 claims that are on the package. 1, no junk. 2, low in sugar. And 3, it tastes amazing. Hey, I'm Taylor. I'm a functional nutritionist, and I'm on a mission to make you happy about food again. So before we get started, I just have to give some love to Ryan Trahan. Not only is he a successful YouTuber with over 21 million subscribers, he's also super entertaining, hilarious, and known for his unique Ryan style. And not only is Ryan hilarious and good at what he does, he's also mission driven. He's most known for his penny series, where he crossed the entire United States with just a single penny and raised over $1.4 million for Feeding America, and most recently his 50 states in 50 days road trip, where he went to all 50 states in 50 days with his wife Haley to raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. They raised over $11 million and counting. Not only did he set out to only raise $1 million and more than 10x his goal, he also was on a mission to run in all 50 states and find his candy brand Joyride in all 50 states. I was never really inspired to try Joyride until after I watched the series and he plugged it in nearly every episode. And what really hit home to me was the mission behind his candy brand, which is to change the way the world eats candy. And he's doing that by creating a better for you candy brand without the artificial junk that's low in sugar and still tastes amazing. Now that last part is really important because a lot of those better for you candy brands do not taste amazing. As a functional nutritionist, this really intrigued me. So that's why I decided to go out to my local 7-Eleven and buy a bag of Joyride. Is Joyride really a healthy candy alternative? Is Ryan really changing the way the world eats candy? Let's find out. Most candy on the shelves today are loaded with high fructose corn syrup, artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, you name it. It's basically a chemical bomb designed as a sweet treat. What used to be a simple occasional pastime has evolved into this ultra-processed sugar rush that we're feeding kids daily. So when Ryan set out on a mission to make candy without all the junk that's lower in sugar and still make it taste good, that is huge. Because if we can swap out even a fraction of the candy that people are eating with a better for you option, that really could start to change things in a big way. And honestly, I love that. Now, Joyride has a pretty fun lineup, and price-wise, each bag runs at about $4.99. Now, that's more expensive than your classic gas station candy, which can range anywhere from $1.99 to $5. But the big difference is you're paying for something that's marketed as having no junk and that's better for you. And what's crazy is that you can actually find Joyride pretty easily these days. But the big question is there really no junk in Joyride? We're reviewing the sour watermelon wedges, and we're starting with the nutrition facts label because that's where the truth lives. Per serving, we've got 50 calories, and a serving is 8 pieces. Each bag has about 3.5 servings, which means the whole bag comes in at around 175 calories. Now let's look a little bit closer. We have 0 grams of total fat, 0 milligrams of sodium, 24 grams of total carbs, 8 grams of fiber, 4 grams of total sugar, 4 grams are added sugar, 0 grams of sugar alcohol, and 0 grams of protein, and a random 43 milligrams of calcium. So on the surface, this looks pretty decent compared to conventional candy. But here's the thing. Food labels are like onions. They've got layers. Cue the Shrek reference. Because nutrition facts tell one story, but the ingredients list tells the real story. So let's peel this one back and look at the ingredients list, because that's where we'll really find out if there's no junk. First up is fiber. Now, Ryan's pretty open about the fact that he doesn't exactly love eating his vegetables. I agree with you, Dr. Mike. So instead, Ryan did his own way of getting fiber, which was adding it to Joyride. With 8 grams of dietary fiber per serving, that's a lot for a candy. If you ate the entire bag, you'd almost hit the recommended daily amount of fiber for adults, which is about 25 grams per day. Not recommending that you do that, but it is facts. So where is this fiber coming from? According to the ingredients label, it's soluble corn fiber. Soluble corn fiber is a synthetic fiber made from cornstarch. Basically, the cornstarch gets treated with enzymes and acids until it becomes a fiber that your body can't fully digest. So undigestible fiber acts like a prebiotic, and that means it feeds the good bacteria in your gut, and as a result, it doesn't spike your blood sugar. So the pros here are that the soluble corn fiber can help add fiber to people's diets where it might be missing, and it helps to slow sugar absorption, which in turn helps with mitigating blood sugar spikes. In moderation, it can support the growth and proliferation of our good gut bacteria, which work for us and create anti-inflammatory metabolites and help to prevent against chronic disease. What are the cons of soluble corn fiber? Well, it is not the same as regular fiber. I'm sorry to break it to you, Ryan, but it's more like a functional filler fiber. It's not going to be the same as beans, broccoli, carrots. And when you consume a lot of the soluble corn fiber, it could cause a little bit of GI upset. So things like gas, bloating, you could maybe have the runs. And honestly, with how much Joyride they were eating on that 50-state road trip, sheesh, I can only imagine what that car must have smelled like. I'm so sorry, Haley. And because most US corn is GMO, that could be a concern with soluble corn fiber, but thankfully Joyride is non-GMO. So that is a huge win there. So the bottom line on soluble corn fiber is that it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. And in small amounts, it's fine and might actually be beneficial. In big amounts, your gut might not be super happy. You might have a little bit of stinky farts going on here, and I would definitely not recommend that you eat it every day. Next up, we're reviewing the sweetener used in Joyride, which was the second ingredient, and it's called allulose. Now, everything that I know about allulose comes from a single article Peter Attia wrote back in 2020. I kind of thought it was ironic because Peter Attia was one of the top donors in Ryan's 50 States in 50 Days fundraiser. He donated a whopping $150,000, which was actually so big that it bypassed the Wheel of Doom spin, and his chosen penalty, jammy time. Iconic move, Peter. Truly iconic. Chef's kiss. Back to allulose. It's a rare sugar naturally found in small amounts like raisins and figs. It looks and tastes identical to sugar, but your body doesn't use it the same way. Instead of being broken down into calories, most of it actually passes through your digestive system and leaves through your urine. So you get that sweet taste, but without the blood sugar spike. Allulose is only about 70% as sweet as sugar with about 95% fewer calories. It doesn't have the same impact on blood sugar and insulin levels. The only potential downside is mild GI distress if you overdo it, but it is generally more tolerable than sugar alcohols. Bottom line, allulose is one of the best sugar substitutes we've got available today. I agree with Peter Attia. He puts it at the top of his list alongside of monk fruit. The FDA doesn't require allulose to be listed as added sugar on the label. So when you see 4 grams of sugar per serving on the Joyride bag, that all comes from the actual sugar, which is the third ingredient, not the allulose. The allulose is what makes the candy taste sweeter without adding the calories or spiking your blood sugar. The fourth ingredient is modified cornstarch. It's basically just empty carbs. There's no fiber, no protein, no vitamins. It's just there to simply help with the texture and chew. While it's not really helping you nutritionally, it's not really a deal breaker either. Now let's talk additives. A little prerequisite here, I don't make candy, I'm not Willy Wonka, and I'm pretty sure these next ingredients are in here for a reason. They provide the taste, consistency, flavor, shelf life. Honestly, if the candy doesn't get stuck in my teeth, I'm looking at you, smart sweets. And to be fair, Joyride's flavor and texture are particularly unmatched in the better for you candy space. So let's break it down. Lactic acid. This one sounds a little bit intimidating, but it's literally the same compound your body makes during exercise. It's also naturally found in yogurt, sauerkraut, sourdough bread, and candy. It just adds a little bit of tartness and helps preserve freshness. Totally safe in food amounts. Fumaric acid, found in apples and mushrooms, but usually made synthetically for food use. It's there to intensify the sour flavor and keep the pH balanced, but there's no real health concerns here either. Citric acid, this is the classic sour candy ingredient, naturally found in citrus, but industrially it's usually made by fermenting sugar with a mold, which sounds a little gross, but it's actually purified before it ever reaches your food, so it's safe in moderation, and too much can give you that sour candy mouth burny sensation. Natural flavors. Yes. This is the mystery box, because by FDA definition, these are flavors that are derived from natural sources, like plants, spices, or even sometimes animal products. Now, natural doesn't always mean healthy. It just means it started from something natural, even if the final product is highly processed. Colors. And here's one of my favorite parts. Joyride uses colors from real fruit and veggie extract like carrot, black currant, turmeric, and spirulina. And I absolutely love this because most candies use artificial dyes made from, get this, petroleum. Yes, gasoline. And those dyes have been linked to hyperactivity and ADHD in kids. So this is a huge win. Sodium citrate, this one's just for acidity control. It's safe and pretty unremarkable. Stevia glycosides, another natural sweetener. And again, I love this because it gives a little boost of sweetness without calories or blood sugar impact. So when we look at this whole list, nothing really jumps out as junk to me. It's mostly functional stuff that makes the candy taste sour, chewy, and shelf stable. What is my verdict on this claim? Does Joyride really have no junk? Yes. Claim number 2, low sugar. Joyride says they've got way less sugar than their competitors. So let's test it out. Example 1, Sour Smacks versus Sour Patch Kids. Joyride Sour Smacks have 7 grams of sugar in 12 pieces, whereas Sour Patch Kids have 24 grams of sugar in 12 pieces. That's a 71% sugar reduction, and that's pretty impressive. Example 2, sour watermelon wedges versus regular sour watermelon. Joyride sour watermelons have 4 grams of added sugar in 8 pieces, whereas regular sour watermelons have 25 grams of added sugar in just 9 pieces. That's an 82% sugar reduction. Huge difference. Huge. Major. Example 3, Joyride sour gummy worms versus Trolley sour gummy worms. Joyride sour gummy worms have 8 grams of sugar in 8 pieces, whereas Trolley sour gummy worms have 14 grams of added sugar in 7 pieces. That's about 50% less sugar, which Joyride even calls out on their package. So, does Joyride deliver on the low sugar claim? Check, check. Here we go. The moment of truth. What you have all been waiting for. Let's test the final claim. Amazing taste. Here we go. Smells like sour candy. Woo! They're definitely sour, but in a good way. Just enough to hit that tangy note that you're looking for and that you want in a sour candy. And the consistency is actually really good. It's chewy, but not too chewy. And the best part is that it doesn't get stuck in your teeth, which is a big deal because a lot of those better for you candies out there, they totally fail at this. And flavor-wise, this legit tastes like the sour watermelons I grew up eating. Sweet, tangy, delicious, no weird aftertaste, just like straight up good tasting candy. So amazing taste. Third and final claim. Yeah, so let's wrap this up. Joyride made 3 big claims: no junk, low sugar, and great taste. And honestly, they delivered, in my personal opinion, on all 3. Ingredient-wise, I was really impressed. Using allulose as the sweetener is a mega win. It's one of the best sugar alternatives out there. The fiber boost is another plus. Even though it's from soluble corn fiber and not from whole veggies, it's still better than the 0 fiber that you would get from regular candy. I would consider that a major win. And compared to other leading candy brands, Joyride has way less sugar. There is no doubt about that. We're talking about 50 to 80% less sugar. And that is huge, especially for kids who are eating a lot of candy. It's legit. It actually tastes like candy. So as a functional nutritionist, would I recommend Joyride as a better for you candy option? Yes. If you're gonna eat candy, this is one of the best choices on the market. My final rating is a 9.3 out of 10. It's not perfect. I love to see more naturally occurring fibers and maybe less reliance on processed starches like the modified cornstarch, but overall Joyride is definitely raising the bar for candy. So Ryan, congratulations. Mission accomplished. You might actually be changing the way the world eats candy. And honestly, I'm here for it. Did you see that?